What's going on, everybody? Eric Bourassa here, and I want to teach you the new Stryper song, Rise to the Call. So to get started, first we're going to tune down a whole step. So it's going to be D, G, C, F, A, D. I think I got that right. So tune down a whole step. What we are going to play is this riff to start. All right, so we've got this classic metal alternating phrase of playing the open A string. I'm going to talk like we're in standard tuning, even though we're down a whole step, just because it's easier. So we're going to pick the open A twice with palm mute, and then we're going to hit 7/7 on strings 4 and 3. So we got, and then we're going to give our picking hand a little break, which is going to be nice. We're only going to hit the next one once on that open A before we go to 7 and 9, and then twice, 7 and 10, and then back to 7 and 7. And back to 7 and 9. Okay, so the pattern for your fretting hand goes 7, 7, 7, 9, 7, 10, 7, 7, 7, 9, with those alternating open A's in between. Now, because the drummer is playing the double bass all the time, if you miss some of those palm mutes open because it's too fast, that's okay. Nobody's really going to know. I have to cheat sometimes, admittedly. We're at about 116 BPM, but because we're doing all downstroke 16th notes, it's pretty tough to maintain that pace. That's going to take a lot of practice, for myself included. So you may have to sometimes just play one if your right hand gets tired, okay? And then the second half of that, we're gonna do the double open A again, followed by 7 to 5 on the 4th and 3rd strings, respectively. Everybody remember to be respective. And then to 7, 7. And then we've got all those opens in between again. And then we've got 5 and 5, pull off to 5 and 4, single open A, and then back to 5 and 5. Add a little vibrato if you can. So that second half. So here's the whole riff slow. And full speed, or something close to it. So we're gonna play that 3 times, and then we'll play this. So that's 5 and 4 to 5 and 5, down to 3 and 2. And then 5, 4, 5, 5 to 7 with vibrato, okay? So the whole intro, or that whole part. All right, so that's the main riff, and that covers the intro as well as the verses. Now the chorus, really simple, just power chords. We're gonna play an A5, 5th fret on string 6, down to the 1st fret F, and then 3rd fret C on the 5th string, and then 3rd fret on the 6th string, G5. So we got A5, F5, C5, G5. So this is a really common rock chord progression, but what is unique about this is that A would normally be minor, but in this case it's major, and Michael is singing the major third, that C sharp. You could just sing that note, but you may want to add that major third to your A chord if you want. So to your A power chord, you could add the 6th fret on string 3. And to the F as well. and then just leave the C and the G as regular power chords. So we played through that 4 times, and those are the choruses. The only change is that in the second chorus, you sit on that G a little bit longer before we go to the bridge riff, okay? So this is like our last rhythm part to the song. So the bridge after the second chorus goes... Okay, so that's 5th fret, and then 6 to 3. And then the second time, we end with 8-6. 5, 8, 6. And then the third time, back to the 6, 3. And then the single note walk down, I think they're playing harmony guitars there. They're playing a harmony part, but at least one of the parts, I think, goes like this. So that's going to be 14, 12, 10 on the 3rd string, and then 14, 12, 10 on the 4th string. And then we shift down in the scale to do 12, 10, 9. Shift down again to do 10, 9, 7. Back up to the 12, 10, 9. Ending on our root note A with heavy vibrato, and that leads us into the guitar solo. All right, this is gonna be fun. The rhythm part basically is like mostly just E5s and then a couple of like added chords in there. I don't know, something kind of like that, but that's not really what we're here for. We all want to learn the lead part, right? But over the C5, we're playing an E Phrygian dominant. That's the scale. It's essentially an A harmonic minor scale. Super duper cool. All right, so that's our first phrase. So we're gonna pluck 12 on the 1st string, E, hammer to F, hammer to 16th fret, G sharp, and then we're gonna tap B at 19. So we have 12, 13, 16, and 19, okay? So we're gonna go walk all the way up. And we're gonna do that tap pull off twice. So 12, 13, 16, 19, pull off, 19, pull off to 13, pull off to 12. So all together. And then we hammer back onto 12 and we tap 16 instead. Okay, so all together. And we play that 3 times, that whole pattern. And you're gonna slide all the way up to the 19th fret and bend 1.5 steps before resolving that bend with heavy vibrato. All right, cool. So then we get this neat little like G sharp fully diminished run. G sharp diminished 7 is found in the A harmonic minor scale, as well as E Phrygian dominant. So you can just think the major third of the E Phrygian dominant scale, you can play a fully diminished pattern over that. It's gonna sound super duper cool. So it goes like this. Full speed. All right, so what that pattern looks like is we've got 16, 19, 16 on the 1st string, just doing a hammer on and pull off, and then to 18 on the 2nd string, back to the 16 on the 1st string. And then on the 2nd string, we're gonna pull off from 18 to 15, and then do it again. And then 16 to 15, 16 on the 3rd string, back to 15 on the 2nd string. So Now that same sequence starts at 16-13 on the 3rd string. And then 15 on the 4th string back to 13. And then walk down 15, 14, 12 on the 4th string. So other than that E note on the 14th fret of the D string, all of that is a G sharp, fully diminished 7 arpeggio. And the cool thing is you can actually name it based on whichever note you're playing in the arpeggio because all the notes are equidistant from each other. Theory fun. Okay, so then after that, we go up to E with heavy vibrato, back to D. And then we're going to start this real quick run up. I think it's mostly legato, but you can also pick it. What I'm doing is I'm picking the notes on strings 4 and 3, and then I'm doing legato after that. So we've got 14, 15, 17, 14, 16, 17. And then on the 2nd string, 15, hammer to 17, hammer to 18, pull off back to 17 and 15. And then we've got 17 on the 3rd string, back to 15 on the 2nd string. Or, all right, and then we're gonna do this little 13, 15, 13, 12. Hammer, pull, slide. Okay, so let's put that together from the diminished run. All right, so next we get this super cool diminished tapping lick. You're gonna tap with the pick. So put your 3rd finger on the 13th fret of string 1 and block the other strings with fingers 1 and 2 to act as a string mute. And we're gonna turn the pick on its side and just tense up your picking hand and go as fast as you can on fret 16. And that's gonna create this trill between frets 13 and 16. Then slide up to 16 and 19, and then 19 and 21. Okay, all right, so let's put all of that together from the very beginning. Okay, all right, here we go. So I think we're at about the halfway point of the solo. Next, we now switch to A minor, right? So we were doing E Phrygian dominant, mostly with an E5 power chord in the background. Well, now we've got an A5 power chord in the background. And so we're switching to not A Phrygian dominant, but just A natural minor, okay? So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Those are all the notes that are going to be used. And we've got this descending 4 sequence. First we got 15 to 17. You can do a hammer-on or a slide. And then we're going to walk down in groups of 4, starting at the 15th fret of the 1st string. The whole thing goes like this. So the frets we're using are 15, 13, 12 on the 1st string, 15, 13, 12 on the 2nd string, 14, 12 on the 3rd string, and 15, 14 on the 4th string. And you're just playing them in 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back to the 2nd note, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back to your 3rd note, 1, 2, 3, 4. So on and so forth. Okay, so next we've got this really cool tapping run starting from A on the 2nd string. So we're going to go A, B, C, 10, 12, 13, tap 17, 17th fret E on the 2nd string, and then back. So up and back, and then do it again, but now we tap 18. And again, tapping 17. So all together, 17, 18, 17. And then this part, I'm going to admit, I don't think I got it perfectly right. Everything up until this point, I think is perfect. Although the fretting, the positions of some of these notes may be different, but the note choices, I believe, are correct. This next part, after this, you're going to slide down to G on the second string, and then I think kind of repeat the sequence, and then just end on that G. But the vibrato is really strong. Instead of doing that index finger vibrato, it might be better to grab G on the 12th fret of the third string and do that, because it's a really wide, like, whole step vibrato. I think that's what I would do. Okay, so let's start from the second half, and we've got this. All right, and then we've got another sequence where we're going like 1, 2. You're going E, F, same notes as before, same frets as before when we did that 4-note walk down, but we're gonna go E, F, D, E, C, D, B, C, A, B, G, A. So that's the sequence, right? You start on a note, go up 1, then go down a note in the scale, up 1, down a note in the scale, up 1. All right, so like this. Ending on C with a pinch harmonic, maybe like right behind the neck pickup, or right in front of the bridge pickup. Okay, and then we do tremolo picking, which is just, you're basically picking as fast as you can with your picking hand, and then we're walking up that A minor scale, starting at the 12th fret on the 5th string. So we've got A, B, C, D, E, G, A, G, A. So 12, 14, 15. I think my intonation's off on that string. So 12, 14, 15 on the 5th string, and then 12, 14 on the 4th string, 12, 14 on the 3rd string, 15, 17 on the 1st string. And then one final bend to end the solo at the, 19th fret of the 1st string, whole step. Sorry, I overbent that first one. And then you're going to resolve it actually to the 20th fret, C sharp, which leads us back into the last chorus. And that C sharp is that first melody note of that chorus, which normally would be an A minor chord, but is really cool that it's an A major chord. And ending on that C sharp just accentuates that that kind of substitute chord harmony. So really neat. Okay, let's try the whole solo all the way through. Okay, awesome. So that's really it. We're back to the final chorus and then the final main riff. And then at the very end of the song, there's just this little walk down starting from B, just walking down the A minor scale. All right, and that's it. So let me know what you think. That is Rise to the Call by Stryper. It may not be up right away, but I will post a link to the full tab on my website. That should be in the description below. If it's not there yet, come check back later, and that link should be there, so you have the full tab for the song. So, hey, if you dug this, be sure and like and subscribe. Maybe I'll do some more Stryper as they release new songs to come. And I'll see you guys next time.